Alrighty, folks, we are live here tonight one more time for the Crooked Line Racing 5 Kings Motorsports Tour Modified. It's that Tuesday Night Thunder Series. Wasn't really supposed to be broadcasting tonight. Was supposed to actually be out on track with these boys, beating and banging a little bit at one of my favorite tracks on iRacing. One of the newest tracks they have added, and the newest short track they have added as of late. Hickory Motor Speedway.
I'd like to protest 55. I was upside down and I got hit.
Really short track. I gotta turn the chat off real quick. Second. Yeah, wasn't supposed to broadcast tonight, so did not have all of our ducks in a row, but going into qualifying now. Gonna put all that behind us. But speaking of not supposed to broadcast, Joe White from the OSR Network was actually supposed to be broadcasting this series starting tonight. He wrote me at about 7 o'clock. He said he had a family emergency. He apologized wholeheartedly for telling me so late, but that he wasn't going to be able to broadcast tonight. So, on behalf of Crooked Line Racing, 5 King Motorsports, Joe White, we hope it's nothing serious. Prayers for you and your family. We pray that it's something minor, just a minor inconvenience for you. But if you ever need anything, we're here. But for now, folks, it's Hickory Motor Speedway. It's time to go into qualifying. And man, oh man, I'm excited and hope you are as well out there in viewer land as we're trying to get all of our ducks in a row here. Jason Raymond, last week's winner. He's going to have to start at the very back of the field. And it looks like a very stacked field here tonight as well. Let's see if we can get some action on track with these drivers. Got Keith Mack in the number 55 butt kicker machine out on track now. Going to try to see what type of lap he can put down. Second lap around, he went to P5 on the board with a 13:52. That's Keith Mack P5 as of right now. Got Aiden Young in the 69. Aiden's is a volunteer firefighter in his local community. Shout out to Aiden Young. Let's see what he's able to do on his second lap around. Aiden goes to fourth on the board with a 13:49. Timmy Catalano just wrapped up his laps. Part of the very famous Catalano family in the Northeast modified scene. Timmy just went 12th on the board. Got one of the fastest drivers from practice out on track right now. Ray Fatarusso went 13th on the board with a 13:61. Joshua Sexton brings his machine around for a 13:79. So as it stands right now, Ken Zeem's coming out of turn 4 right now. Going to try to see what he can put down. Ken Zeem was just a little bit slower on the second lap. So it's looking like it might be Scotty Stevens up at the top of the board. As we got about 2 more minutes left of qualifying here. See, you got Scotty Stevens, Staunton Kilrow, Alex Coffey, Aiden Young, Jason Stewart, Keith Mack, James Barrett Jr., Ed Brown, Christian Pittman, and last season's champion, Thomas Axum, is currently your top 10 as they sit. And then Kyle B. Cisco just changed that with a 13:35. He just went to P2 on the board. As I'm going to try to get over here and pull the chat up. Miss Kelly Coffee, I hope you're watching at home. Loud and proud support for your boy Alex Coffee out here. Man, I wish I was racing tonight. I was looking so forward to coming out here and just being in the mix with these boys. Love Hickory. Never raced it in tour mods. Only ever raced it in the super late model. But really enjoyed it. Was really looking forward to coming back here in a tour mod tonight, but wasn't meant to be. No reason to cry over spilled milk, I guess, but we're a little bit sad tonight. But folks, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. If you could, smash that like button on YouTube. It helps us out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. You'll never ever miss anytime we ever go live. So our schedule as of now, in a few weeks, we're going to be starting back up with the Wednesday night ASRL ARCA series. And then Thursday night is going to be the Apex Sim Racing Truck Series. And then we actually do our own racing on Friday night, so the channel will be dark unless we're streaming our own points of view from our cockpit on Friday nights. And then on Saturday nights, we'll be live every Saturday night with the Saturday Night Super Truck Series. That's Crooked Line Racing Truck Series. Just started last week. Our young gun in Five Kings Motorsports, Christian Pittman, got the race win last week at Daytona, the inaugural debut race of a new series. You're not going to want to miss the action when we go to USA International on this Saturday night. As we now have qualifying all wrapped up, it's time to go into the race grid. Got, like I mentioned a while ago, got the 02 of Scotty Stevens. Actually put it on the pole, but due to a restart violation last week, he will actually be taking an EOL at the start of this race. Kyle B. Cisco is going to be starting outside, row number 1. Dalton Kilroy firing off P3 with Alex Coffey representing Runts Racing starting 4th. Aiden Young in the number 69. He's rounding our top 5 as they run. Jason Stewart brought it in P6. Keith Mack P7. James Barrett Jr. P8. Ed Brown in the 12 machine. P9 with Christian Pittman. P10. Thomas Axum, last season's champion. He's a little bit further back than what he's accustomed to. He's going to be firing off in 11th. John Curtis is going to be 12th. Timmy Catalano, 13th. Ray Fataruso in 14th. Frank Barr, 15th. Ken Zeems in 16th. Willie Evernham, Joshua Sexton, Scott Ross, and Brian Kramer. They are running out your top 20 here tonight. Then they got MF Racing Design's very own Michael Falk in the 21st position. Firing off in the 22nd, Trevor Catalano. Jason Raymond, last week's winner, did not put a qualifying lap down. He's currently showing us 23rd, but we do know he'll be in the back as these cars are now starting to make their way around the track. Man, oh man, it's about time, folks, to pull them belts tight. And we're getting ready to be green flag racing here. I want to fix my sound one more time. Try to. See what that looks like over here. And much better, much better. Alright, field's going to be in control of Dalton Kilroy up front. 41 is going to have a newcomer in the number 4. He's actually the number 8 on the side of his car. Kyle Cisco is going to be trying to do battle with him. I think that inside lane's where you're going to want to be at, but we're about to find out here as pace car's off. These boys got to wait for the green flag. The green is out. They fire. They both fire off pretty strong. Got the 8 and the 41 side by side, jockeying for position. They're single file on back behind them, but a little bit further back is already Calamity. Drivers going around already. That is not what you want to see. Lap 1, turn 1. Already got drivers going around. I think it started with James Barrett Jr., but we'll have to go back and see. Ooh, Keith Mack got into the 3. 68 had nowhere to go, and then that's just a story for everybody else. Nowhere to go. Everybody's trying to get checked up. The 3 actually ends up on his lid. It's Jason Stewart. Tough break for Jason Stewart right then. He's going to have to tow that machine and go a few laps down. And I noticed up front, Kyle B. Cisco actually took the top spot from Dalton Kilroy there. So maybe that outside lane is not as much of a disadvantage as what we were originally thinking. Man, oh man, tough break for a driver like Jason Stewart. Keith Mack. Keith Mack's normally pretty clean. Got in there a little bit too hot and kind of rode up into Keith Mack, or rode up into Jason Stewart, and ultimately it hurt a lot of good cars. I'm seeing Ken Zeems on pit road. John Curtis is on pit road, and of course, Jason Stewart had to tow. He's going to be there for just a minute. Remember, folks, if you're watching at home on YouTube, please do us a favor and slap that like button. It helps us out a ton. We didn't get to promote this because I didn't even know we were going to broadcast it until literally 30 minutes ago. We're going to wait for the lights to go off on the pace car. We'll see if they go off this time around or not. Let's see. Lights are off on the pace car, getting ready to be double filed back up. It might go single file here, I'm not sure. Nope, it looks like it's going to remain double file here. Alrighty, re-rack them. Gonna try it again. And the 41 match what the 8 did last time whenever he got such a good jump. It might be a 6 actually, folks. I think it actually is a 6, as man, Cisco just got a great launch off. Left the 41 almost basically in the dust. Now the 41's trying to battle back. As we look a little bit further back, you see the top 4, top 5, top 7 have single filed. Majority of the field is single filed out, but the one driver that has not got the memo yet got Willie Abraham trying to look underneath Frank Barbary right now. Jason Raymond, last week's winner, is going to try to gain every position he can on these restarts. It's going to be a tough track to pass at, so you want to try to get every spot you can when the race is fresh, when the tires are fresh. Everybody's bunched up, and that's what we're seeing Jason Raymond do, and Frank Barber is currently falling backwards right now. As we go back up towards the front, Dalton Kilroy is trying to work over the number 6, and we talked about Thomas Axel. He actually started in P11. Due to the wreck on lap 1, Thomas was able to escape the tragedy of the lap 1, turn 1 wreck, and he was able to actually gain a few spots, and now he's actually made a pass over Aiden Young, who was running in 3rd. Thomas Axel now takes over 3rd place, so you know he is looking all eyes ahead, as Thomas Axel has been known to typically be out in front of these fields. Now, when he did win 6 races last season, he did have to go to the back every time he won the very next week, but he was still able to come up through the field, and he was actually a repeat 2-time in a row winner once last season. So that does show Thomas can start in the back and make his way up through the field, but this was the first time I ever seen Thomas start in the back just off sheer speed. So maybe Hickory's not a track that really jibes well with him. I'm not sure. But he looks to be doing mighty fine right now as he's running 3rd. As you see, Cal Cisco still out front in the number 6 machine. Got Dalton Kilroy still right there just hounding that driver. As we're going to go cockpit cam with Dalton Kilroy real quick. Try to see these conditions that these drivers are battling right now with this fixed setup. As Cal Cisco actually climbs the wall, they have got saved right then by the caution coming out. As I'm thinking I'm seeing Christian Pittman. Yes, we are seeing Christian Pittman has went around. Go back and watch on the replay. So you got underneath Frank Barb a little bit. That's going to be a tough one to call. As Frank just comes down, chops his nose, and left nowhere for Christian to go. Seen that a time or two. Boy, oh boy. And we're seeing Cal Cisco actually elect to take his machine down pit road. We saw right before all that happened, Kyle tried to knock the wall down, something fierce. And I'm trying to actually go back. Let's see if we can watch back and see what happened with Kyle here. As he's coming off the corner, just climbs the wall. And luckily for him, the caution came out, not for him, but for Christian Pittman and Catalano. So that really saved Cisco right then. He was able to go in and get the car repaired and not lose a spot. But when he did go in, he obviously did lose a spot then. But that's left now. Thomas Axum is up to P2. He's a driver on the move. Ray Fataruso is up 10 spots. Jason Raymond, last week's winner, he's currently up 16 spots right now. We're going to try to see if we can dial up Jason Raymond, maybe have a quick little word with him. Jason, Tanner Martin, the booth, got a copy?
Yes, sir, I got you.
So, Jason, I've talked with you some throughout the week, and you were telling me that, man, you were scared to death coming to Hickory, starting in the back. You're racing really hot and heavy for points this season as the lights go off on the pace car. How you like your chances thus far?
Right now, I mean, I started in the back. I'm up to 7th, so I'm just kind of, right now I'm just kind of riding. A lot of these guys are probably driving it in pretty deep. I'm kind of just riding, hoping they pick up their tires. I guess we'll see how it goes from there.
All right, I'll get you back. I didn't know the lights were going to go off that quick.
You're
Good luck.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, folks, green flag is back out. 41 gets a great jump. 13 does not. That's something we haven't seen much. Usually the 13's on point. 13 is able to come down in front of Aiden Young in the 69, though. So you got Dalton Kilroy, Thomas Axum, Aiden Young, Ray Fataruso in the 33 is going to try to put his name in the hat up here as well. As you see, there's kind of a cluster of the top two, and then you see on back a little bit further. You got Jason Raymond, Willie Abraham, Timmy Catalano, and James Barrett Jr., Scott Ross, Brian Kramer. All of these drivers are right on top of each other. As we go back and look at Scotty Stevens, he put it on the pole tonight. Due to a restart violation last week, he had to go to the very back. And now we're seeing that, yes, he was really fast in qualifying, but he's not able to make the positions up the way the other guys were. So maybe Scotty's just trying to bide for time right now, just letting laps click off as he has a teammate of Joshua Sexton right there in front of him. And you got Brian Kramer right there. It looks like this pack was racing really, really hard a while ago, but it looks like they have kind of settled down. Now, if there's not another caution between now and lap 50, I think we'll have a competition caution, but the way this track is, it's a very, very tough track. I mean, it's going to be hard to break off a long green flag run with this many cars out there. As you see that 13, he's trying to work over the 41. Going to try to force a mistake to come out of that Daddy-O's barbershop camp. But Dalton, he's been on this service for a long time. Mistakes come few and far between. Now, Dalton did the Hickory 300 super late model event here. A little bit different car, but a lot of the same qualities when it comes to racing this track. And Dalton was setting himself up for a great chance at winning the race. Had a late race tangle with a teammate that actually forced Dalton to go to the back. So did Dalton learn something from the Hickory 300? I'm sure he did, as we're seeing him currently lead a field of 21 of some of the fastest Tour Mod guys on the entire service of iRacing, as they're actually going to put a car a lap down right now. Kudos to the lap driver there, getting up out of the way, the racing group. I'm not sure who that was. Actually see Aiden Young, Ray Fataruso trying to get around him now. It's the 54 of... I'm not exactly sure. It's not Tyler. I'm not sure. Okay, it's the 56 of Trevor Catalano with the wrong number displayed right now. So they have now put that driver a lap down. So they have now lapped up to 16th place. And we're seeing Thomas actually, caution is out on the speedway. That will be the competition caution. I'm not exactly sure what transpired with this. That's no dice. Yeah, okay, I hear a wrecking. I heard people wrecking right there, folks, but didn't see nobody wrecking. Yeah, I'm not sure what has happened here. Did Frank Barb leave the race? He did. Alright, I'm not sure what transpired to bring out that caution, but there is a caution. So the field's going to be in the hands of the 41 Daddy-O's machine of Dalton Kilroy. We're going to be taking lap 38 this time around. Not sure lights are still on the pace car. See if we can dial up Alex Coffey. Going to have a word with him real quick. Alex, Tanner Marr in the booth. You got a copy?
10-4.
Now, Alex, I'm not seeing exactly where you are running right now. You are shown... Oh, you're actually a few laps down, Coffey. What's happened?
So my teammate with the first accident that happened got stuck on his roof, and I was trying to be a good teammate and go ahead and take my fast repair and flip him over. Didn't get him flipped over, and then ended up leaving my fast repair unchecked. So I was stuck for 8 minutes in the pits. So I loaded her up in the trailer.
Oh, no way. That's going to be a tough points night for you then, Alex.
Oh yeah, it happens though. We'll be back.
I'll get you back down to your racing. I'm sure you're spotting. Just wanted to check out on you, Alex. It sucks for you, though, buddy. Hate to hear that.
10-4, it happens. We'll see if Barrett can bring it home for the chat, I guess.
Right on, buddy. Right on. All right, folks. We back green flag racing. Got 13. Actually fight until the outside of the 41. I did not think this outside line would be any... Ooh, we got a wreck going on in the back. I see a guy actually going around. Willie Evernham has went around, as I'm not sure exactly what transpired to cause that initial crash. We're going to find out here. Got the 68 of James Barrett Jr. right there. Got the 20 on his outside. Light contact right then. 68 gets into him and then just nowhere to go for either driver, really. Willie took the hardest lick right then. Got shoved into the tractor tire right there. So that's going to be significant damage, I think, to that number 19. Luckily for him, he should have a fast repair in his pocket. See if we can dial up Mr. Evernham one time. Now, he might come up here. He might not be too happy right now, but we're going to see. Willie, Tanner Martin, the booth, got a copy.
Yes, sir, I do.
So, Willie, I just saw you try to Evil Knievel the tractor tire. How'd it feel looking out your windshield right then, buddy?
I don't know. It looked like I was going one way, and then all of a sudden I was going the other way. So I don't know. It's tight racing here. I don't know. I have to look at the replay, see what happened. But I don't know. It stinks, but we got a lot of laps left to go. Hopefully we can get the number 19 fixed up here and keep rolling.
Right on. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but done many laps here in real life, correct?
Yes, sir. Done about 4 seasons. Did 2 in the 4-cylinder stock or 4-cylinder class, and then I did 2 in late model stock. Never in a modified, and never on a video game, so it's a little bit different. But hopefully we'll get the hang of it and see where we're at and have some fun.
All right, Willie. Not to hang you up too much, but I just want to ask one more question. How does Hickory look as far as like just the aspect of how it looks on here versus in real life?
Looks pretty good. This looks pretty the same. Doesn't look as worn out on here, but all in all, looks the same. Obviously, a different feeling from what the actual racetrack is. And I don't know if anybody knows about Hickory, but they're known for stopping racing for funerals right next to a cemetery there. So if iRacing really wants to get realistic, they can add that into it.
That's actually really, really cool, so I didn't know that, Willie. Lights are off on the pace car, buddy. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Willie. That's good. That's cool to know. So a little tidbit from this track as these drivers about to go back green flag racing. He said if there's a funeral next door at the cemetery, they stop racing. So kudos to the owners of Hickory Motor Speedway. That's utmost respect. We see the 41 gets a great jump. 13. He tries to match it. He's able to come down in front of our third place, Aiden Young, right now as they're running. You've seen right then, Thomas did not want to get shuffled out on that outside. But I don't know. What we saw earlier, it looked like Thomas was able to make the outside kind of work. He might be a little bit faster than Thomas Axum, but be a little bit faster than Dalton Kilroe. But we say it every week. Getting there to the driver in front of you is very, very, very small task compared to actually getting around that driver. And now you're seeing right now that 13 is going to look high and try to possibly perform a crossover move on the 41, but just lost so much momentum the minute he looked high. So right now, 13, he is trying to work over that 41. He's trying everything he can. And as we look a little bit further back, Ray Fataruso, this driver number 33, like I mentioned earlier, he was the fastest car in practice. He had the fastest lap by a couple hundreds, I believe. So we know he has good short run speed. And the way this race is kind of shook out, we've had a few little mini green flag runs, but not a really long one. So that really could play in the hands of a driver like Ray Fataruso, who obviously established he had really, really fast short run speed. And he's already gotten to an incident earlier. He also started in 14th. So, I mean, to work his way up to 4th after an incident, starting 14, that's pretty impressive. Fatty Russo's a driver to watch here tonight. As last week's winner, Jason Raymond has been made up 18 spots from when he gridded. He won last week, was forced to start in the back. No harm, no foul in that when you're able to work your way up to 5th, as we now have another yellow flag on the racetrack. Let's see what's transpired now. Got the 89 of Brian Kramer. It looks like the 20 of Timmy Catalano just got in there way too hot. Ran him over. Man, oh man. It's just... That's the type of wrecks I hate seeing right there. It's just the wrecks with no respect for the driver in front of you. Alright, going to re-rack them one more time. Going to try this again. So we actually got drivers that actually have elected to go down pit road. Scott Ross in the number 17 PPG Paints machine is down pit road. Timmy Catalano is down pit road. I saw another driver, 89, Brian Kramer, was actually electing to take his at least right side tires there. The lights are still on the pace car. Last time we saw Thomas Axum, he's not letting the likes of Dalton Kilroe jump out too far ahead of him on these restarts. He's pretty much been on the money with these restarts now. Dalton has the advantage. He's the leader. Only he knows when he's really going to hit the fire off. Hit the go button, we'll call it, the throttle. But if this was drag racing, Thomas has shown and proved that he has some really good reaction time, able to fire off right there with the 41 almost perfectly each and every time. Each and every restart thus far, the 13's tried to get past start-finish line so he don't get the restart violation and then work his way down and get in front of Aiden. Let's see what happens here. As you see, he gets another good jump. They're side-by-side racing pretty hard right there behind him. Got Ray Fataruso and Jason Raymond. Jason trying to get everything he can off a restart to the inside of the 33. Jason's trying to prove last week's win was not a fluke. He's in it for points this season, he said. And right now he's looking really strong. Got that 44 turned up. Look like it's on rails. Got the Tall Chief pushing him in the back. The McConey setup shop on the front. Let's see what he's able to do. If he's able to work over Mr. Aiden Young, number 69 right there in front of him. That 44 has been on a move thus far. As we give a look into Scotty Stevens, qualified on the pole, had to go to the back. He's worked his way up to P7 right now. Got a hard charging Ed Brown right there behind him. James Barrett Jr. He's been in a few incidents tonight. He's had one of them races what I call a roller coaster. It has its up and down moments. Right now, looks like he's in an up because he's within the top 10. He's bounced back and proved to battle really hard as he's actually, I thought he was going to look underneath the 12 of Ed Brown right there. Thought better of it. Was probably the smart decision as we are now lap 66 of 125 as the leaders are about to click off 67. As I actually just heard a car wreck. Not sure who it was. No caution just yet, but there was a wreck somewhere. As you see Joshua Sexton trying to battle over James Barrett Jr. Just not able to get there just yet. Josh and myself, we had to deal with a lot of issues before we went live. So Josh was not able to practice, but we just saw a 68 getting to the wall there. Actually made slight contact between him and the 51 as well. You see the 51 just not able to match the pace to the 68 right now. But he's still trying to look underneath. That 68 struggling. He's gotten to the wall twice, and now looks like he's battling a really tight race car. And Joshua Sexton is trying to pounce on the opportunity, but still, that 68 of James Barrett Jr. is still getting a great launch off. As we head back up front, we got a battle for the lead. The 13 of Thomas Axum is to the inside of Dalton Kilrow. Dalton gets a little bit loose, got to walk it up the track. That's going to allow the 13 to have the run. Aiden Young in the 69 is going to go to the inside of the 41. That's not what Dalton wanted to see. Did not want to see a car get to his inside so fast. And now Thomas Axum, he's showed great pace all night. With these two battling there behind him in his mirror, is that going to allow the 13 to walk away? As Dalton is fighting hard on the outside, trying to get clear. His caution is out now on the speedway. As I'm trying to see what happened here. That was a Timmy Catalano wreck. Let's find out. Well, folks, I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. As we actually got a front runner electing to take his machine. 69 gave up third place, going to go take, or gave up second place. He was fighting with Dalton right then. Gave up second and third place to go in and take some fresh rubber. Aiden Young in the 69 going to be a driver on the move. But now I think it is time that we go ahead and do our MF Racing Designs Best Paint Scheme of the Night Award. As we're going to go through these cars and see which car deserves the MF Racing Designs Best Paint Scheme of the Night. I think it's got to go. Best paint scheme of the night will have to go to the number 55. It's a very, very different type looking paint scheme here tonight. It's shiny. It's got some gradient effect to it. It's actually hard to kind of see under the nightlight. Very, very beautiful paint scheme by whoever painted that car. Kudos to the painter to the 55, and kudos to Keith Mack. Brought home the MF Racing Designs Best Paint Scheme of the Night. Number 55, Keith Mack. And while we're also under caution, I want to give a big shout out to our guys over at Bam Racing Videos. I say our guys, but it's a one-man show over there. Brandon Mettler, he travels around to all these local short tracks. If you like grassroots racing, not only grassroots, but grassroots short track racing, as Thomas Axum took the high side. But if you like grassroots racing, Bam Racing Videos is your one-stop shop for all your real-life racing needs. As we're getting ready to go back green, race leader Thomas Axum has took the high side here to see how the jump's going to be for the 41. Green comes out. They both kind of stalemate each other. Neither driver went. But then the 13 looked like he shot off like a rocket. Got the 44 and Fader Russo 33 racing right there behind Dalton Kilrow, trying to see who can sort it out for third place. Slight contact between the Nerf bars on the side there. Want to send the 33 up the track and ultimately let Kyle B. Cisco in the 6 actually by as well. Kyle B. Cisco, we saw this driver up front earlier. He made a mistake, got into the wall, went to go pit, lost all that track position, and now he is currently trying to battle with last week's winner in the 44 of Jason Raymond, able to get around it, but Jason's not going to give up. Almost attempted a crossover move, but did not have the momentum there to be able to actually get there. As we look a little bit further back, Scotty Stevens, he's trying to get back what he feels was taken away from him. He's driving that machine hard. He's currently up to 6th. Ed Brown in the 12, sitting strong in the 7th. Joshua Sexton, we saw him get around James Barrett Jr. when James Barrett Jr. made a slight mistake earlier. So Joshua Sexton's trying to look ahead, but he can't look too far ahead because that 68 is right there behind him. And man, them cars look identical almost to each other. Same colors and everything. It's pretty wild to be right there racing right next to each other. Then you got the 8 of Christian Pittman right there behind James Barrett Jr. We're going to go cockpit cam with Christian Pittman. Going to see what these drivers are battling now as we're 86 laps into this race. I can tell the setup's getting a little bit tight. You can tell how Christian's really working that wheel. Trying to get it to turn in the center. Just can't get the bite he really needs. As he actually gets a pretty good run that time. And I would be renounced if I didn't mention. Use promo code 5Kings. Get 10% off your order at McConeySetupShopLLC.com and RaiseEnergy.com. Or you can use promo code 5Kings at TheButtKicker.com and get a whopping 20% off discount off your entire order. And you can use it as many times as you like. As it's all the 13 of Thomas Axum out front. We actually just heard a driver getting to the wall. Got Dalton Kilroe trying to chase him. This is a beautiful shot right here as you see those drivers drive it off into turn 3 and 4. A very, very momentum-based track here. And that's what we're seeing. Is we're actually, I think, about to see a battle for second. Kyle Sisko in the number 6 is trying to work over the 41 of Dalton Kilroe. Not able to finally fully get there yet. But that 6 is on the move and he's moving fast. As it's been really quiet in the comment section tonight in viewer land. Let me know, folks, who do we got? Currently got 13 out front of Thomas Axum. Dalton Kilroe sitting P2 with Kyle Sisko sitting 3rd. Ray Fatarusso 4th. Jason Raymond is currently running in P5. As we look back, the second place, Dalton Kilroe, you can really tell just how old this track surface is. Yes, they're going really fast, so it's hard to tell, but you can tell this track has a lot of character if you look at all them different lines, all them different cracks on the track. And I promise you, when these drivers are going, say 120, 115, I think is about top speed here in these cars. I'm actually watching right now, about 110. But anyways, if they hit 110, it's cautions out on the speedway. It gets to be where they can feel those, especially when the tires start to really wear. They feel every bit of them bumps and all. And I'm seeing James Barrett Jr. has went around, just climbed the wall, got a little help from Christian Pittman, nowhere for the 8 machine to go, and my oh my, the 68 just went for a wild ride. And the worst possibility to happen right there was for him to flip on his roof and not make it back to his tires. Tough break for Mr. Barrett Jr., who was having a really solid run here tonight. Alright, these front guys have not pitted. Kyle Sisko pitted on lap 18, so I actually did not realize that. The rest of the field from 1st through 7th have not pitted yet. Will they come in and take tires? It does not look like they will. Scott Ross is actually coming in for service. And Keith Mack's going to come in for service. So a few takers on pit road, but not a whole lot. Shout out to Michael Falk, too. Had a very quiet night thus far. And a quiet night is sometimes what you want. That means you're not doing anything bad. You're not causing any trouble. You're just having a quiet night. That's what the 81's doing. It's only like maybe his 7th race ever on iRacing. So kudos to Michael Falk, the legend behind MF Race Designs, for coming out and racing with his guys here tonight. Alrighty, we saw Thomas Axum elect to take the high side last time around, last restart. Will he do that again? That's a risk to me, and it looks like he's going to line up on the high side again as the lights are off in that gender-neutral pace car. Man, oh man, it's a risk. But if Thomas thinks he can do it, I have the utmost faith in him as well. You see the 17 right there go by to get a lap back at Scott Ross. I'm going to try to get a lap back as we're getting ready to be green flag racing one more time here, folks. The green is out. 13 gets a good jump at the 41. I thought he was going to get a good jump, but not really able to match it. Caution down the speedway. A huge wreck going into turn 1. And it looks like Dalton Kilroy is going to be a part of that. And you see a big stack up there. Dalton didn't get a great jump. And the 6 just runs him over. And nowhere to go for the rest of the guys. They just keep piling in. But the 6 just outright just kind of dumped Dalton right there. Just kind of got in there a little hot. We'll watch it back one more time. Gotta go to the 6 cockpit if we can here. Yep, just gets in there and bulldozes him. My oh my. Not going to be very happy drivers with that one. I'm glad I'm in the booth now versus being out there on the track. Got Thomas Axum, P1. Kyle B. Cisco, P2. Jason Raymond's P3. Scotty Stevens, P4. And Christian Pittman, P5. Alrighty, we got 20 to go here, folks. We're getting close to the 10 to go, presented by BAM Racing Videos. It's going to be a shootout. 20 laps to go. Sounds like a whole lot. We see Dalton Kilroy going to come down pit road. I'm sure he's probably taking rubber here. He does not take any rubber. Very interesting to see that. As the lights are now off on the pace car, it should be single file here. It's not going to be single file. I'm not sure. So normally, iRacing sets it up where it goes single file if you don't complete a lap after the caution. But it hadn't done that here tonight. So for whatever reason, it hasn't. But it don't matter to us. Thomas Axum elects to take the bottom this time. Got the 6 to his outside. 44 right there behind him. The 6 does not get a great jump at all. But he makes up for it as they go into turn 1. Got teammates of Scotty Stevens and Jason Raymond battling side by side. Christian Pittman laying in the wake right there. Scotty Stevens has worked his way up to P3 with Kyle B. Cisco and Thomas Axum up ahead of him out his windshield. As it looks like the 6 is going to try to get to the 13. But man, oh man, that 13 is not going to make very many mistakes. You better capitalize on one. We've already seen the 6 had great speed and made a slight judgment error a while ago. A slight error in his judgment. And basically just ran all over the 41. So let's see if what happens if he gets up to the 13. Maybe he's just aggressive and wants to get in there and get that race win. He's trying to work over the 13. Just looks like the 13 has a little bit more pace than what the 6 has. It's actually that time about the 6 was a little bit quicker, a few hundreds quicker, but it takes almost a tenth to 2 tenths to get to somebody and start trying to get around them. So it's going to take almost a mistake from Thomas Axum or the famous little bump and run. Will the 6 put the bumper to him? As we're looking back off Thomas Axum right now to the 6 of Ray Cisco, as we're now 11 to go. Going to be 10 to go this time around as they are getting really close to making some contact there, folks. As now I am proud to say it is now the 10 to go presented by BAM Racing Videos. As we see the 6 push a little too hard. Gets into the wall there. Going to fall back to the clinches of Scotty Stevens maybe. As no, they have just opened up a gap over the field. It's all Thomas Axum out front, smooth sailing for the 13. Currently looking for his first win of the season, I do believe. As I'm going to actually check right now as we keep the action going. See if Thomas Axum has got him a race win yet or not. He does not. Derek Paulson won week 1. Jason Raymond won week 2. So, Thomas Axum trying to get his first win of the season here tonight. It's going to be interesting to see if it's going to happen. We got 7 laps to go. If it stays green right now, it looks pretty smooth for Thomas Axum. Although Kyle B. Cisco was almost a full tenth faster that time around. So Kyle B. Cisco has actually found a little bit of pace. Thought he make a pretty big mistake earlier, but he's got right back up to the 13. Wash is really high right then, so he's really trying to drive that car, get everything he can out of it. Got Scotty Stevens sitting in P3. Jason Raymond's P4, Christian Pittman P5 with Dalton Kilroe currently sitting P6 after leading a majority of this race. Aiden Young got in an incident earlier and then went to pit, gave up the track position and not able to climb back to a positive from the track position he lost. You got Scott Ross, Joshua Sexton, and Ed Brown. They're around your top 10 as they run right now. Ryan Kramer's running 11th off the pace. Looks like he has a little bit of damage, with Michael Falk right there behind him in 12th. Thomas Axum has almost a 3/10 gap over second place Kyle B. Cisco. Thomas has lap traffic out front. Is it going to play a factor into how this race concludes? White flag is out. Don't matter what they do now. As the 6 gets into the wall again, it looks like smooth sailing for Thomas Axum. He goes out here and makes 2 more corners, and he'll be good to go. As you see the 81 go high, gives the 13 the preferred lane. Thomas Axum brings home his first win of the season. It only took 3 weeks. We knew he would find victory lane again. Thomas Axum, P1. Kyle B. Cisco brought it home second with Scotty Stevens in third. Jason Raymond 4th. And Christian Pittman got him a top 5 here tonight in the number 8 McConey setup shop machine. And we're going to watch the 13 burn it down for us. This winning moment brought to you by BAM Racing Videos. You like sim racing, we got you covered on the 5 Kings Motorsports YouTube channel. But if you like grassroots short track racing, check out our friends over at BAM Racing Videos on YouTube. As we're going to pull up our 3rd place runner here. He was mad earlier. I bet he's not mad now. Scotty Stevens, Tanner Martin, the booth, got copy.
I got you.
So you put it on the pole tonight, due to the circumstances from last week, took the EOL, brought it all the way back, finished 3rd. Without that EOL, we don't know how it can shake out. Talk me through your race tonight.
I just had to keep it clean. Knew there was gonna be a lot of incidents going on, short track racing. Had to keep it clean, drive my way up there.
Do you think if a caution, late race caution would have came out or something like that, do you think you possibly had something for Cisco or Axum?
Nah, I done wore my tires out, trying to work my way through the field. I was debating on pitting around lap 50, but side of track position was a little bit more key than tires were at that point, so rolled with what I had. Tire fall off wasn't huge, but I think it definitely made a difference in the end.
Right on. That's Scotty Stevens brought it home in P3. Got him another solid run in the Tour Modified Series. Scotty, you got any sponsor shots you want to throw out there?
Yeah, MF Racing Design, Savage Edge Apparel, McConey Setup Shop, The Butt Kicker, Frank Barber's Button Box, Raise Energy, BAM Racing Videos, and all the teammates over at 5 Kings.
Oh, you want to thank us now, huh? Little girl. I'll talk to you after the race. Good run tonight, Bubba.
All right.
That was Scotty Stevens brought it home in P3. Now we're currently looking for Mr. Cisco. I think he's going to have his mic muted, maybe not. Mr. Kyle Cisco, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
So, Kyle, you had a up and down race. You kind of lost some track position there whenever you got into the wall and pitted. Was you afraid, kind of worried with it being Hickory, if it was going to be possible to get back up there like you did tonight?
I knew we were pretty good. I thought we had some good long run speed, and I think it kind of showed there. But yeah, definitely a few driver errors, I think, kept us out of victory lane tonight. I think we were definitely the better car and the car to beat, but sometimes not the fastest car always wins. So I guess we'll give it another go next week.
You know what they say, buddy. That's racing. That's the way it goes. It seems like, especially on these short tracks, Kyle, you can be the most dominant car and the whole field's gonna put their money on you, and something always happens, and that's what happened tonight. We saw you were going for it there at the end. That's where you got into the wall, and that actually pretty much sealed the fate because then that just allowed Thomas to kind of be comfortable. But then Kyle, late in the race, we saw you actually getting to the 41. Was that almost was? I'm gonna ask you just outright. Was it more of a bump and run attempt gone wrong, or did you just get in there a little hot? Didn't mean to get into him. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, so I'm actually watching it right now, and I was going to say before you had brought it up, the next topic I want to talk about was just to apologize to the 41. I think he got in there a lot softer than I think he could have or than I anticipated, and I just caught him. Like I said, I didn't think he was going to get. I thought he was going to get in there a little bit hotter, but
Right.
fortunately he didn't, and I came in with a little bit more head of steam and got into him there. I didn't want to clean him out. I think we were having a good run there before that caution, and
Absolutely.
I was trying to get around him without touching him or just a quick pump and run, nothing, no harm, no foul. But unfortunately, I did get into him a little hot, so I do apologize for that. But like you said, moving forward there, just that wall and the right front tire were kind of going down really didn't help, and Thomas just held on there.
And I'll give you a peek behind the curtain. I mean, this setup we got this week, we had 4 different teams send us setups. Normally, we have one guy build our setups that don't race with us, and wasn't able to this week. So we got the setup just today. I've tried 2 of them and hated them. Just could not stand them. There'd be no way to go out here and have 24 guys race. So scramble, try to get the setup as good as we could, and it was terrible. So y'all put on a good show for what it was worth, Kyle. And besides all that, you brought it home second in your debut race with us. Excited to see you out here battling with Thomas and the likes of Dalton and all them guys week in and week out. You got any sponsor shout you want to throw out there for that 6 car?
Yeah, I just got to thank everyone, my teammates. Unfortunately, in that wreck there, I got my teammate Ray. Sucks for him. He had a good run going. He was strong all day, kind of just biding his time, waiting for the end there, and unfortunately got caught up in my mess. So big apologies to him, and just thank you to you guys for putting this together and for having me, and hopefully I'm allowed back for next week.
Well, hey, as long as you show up, you're here, baby. The words of Denny Hamlin talking to Joe Logano, that's just short track racing. Stuff's gonna happen. They call it accidents for a reason. That's
Roger that.
Yep, it's Mr. Kyle debut race brought it home second, 1 spot short from what I know he wanted to be, but still a podium finish nonetheless. Good points night considering you've only missed 2 races. That's 2 drop weeks already, so you're okay in the points when it comes to the end of the season. So congratulations to you, Kyle, and we'll see you next week, buddy.
Yeah, thanks again for having us, and I look forward to seeing you.
All right, thank you, buddy. All right, guys, and then there was one. He stood loud and proud last season. Got him 6 or 7. I think it was 6 race wins. He started off slow in terms of Thomas Axel. I mean, if he comes out the first 2 races and don't win, it's like, hey, is Thomas in a slump? Tonight, Hickory, though, came out, started 11th, never put his head down, or never took his head from being down. He kept his head forward, was digging the whole time. Thomas Axel, you brought it home race win tonight. You got a copy.
Yes, sir.
So, Thomas, I got to ask you just straight up. I've never seen you start no further back in 3rd unless you won the week before. What happened during qualifying? Just didn't have the short run speed, or what happened from your point of view?
So I thought I found a little trick in practice that I guess I just didn't test my theory enough, where I went slow lap 1 and then gunned it lap 2. But I guess I just didn't have enough heat in the tires coming to lap 2 and just wasn't able to get the throttle down and just choked up on Q. And in fact, the field was so tight where, I mean, I was only, say, a 10th and a half off. That's still mid-pack.
Right.
Just shuffled my way and was able to just one by one get my way up there.
And the thing is, you did it cleanly. There was a huge wreck turn 1, lap 1, I do believe. Now, you may have got a little bit of contact in there, but it wasn't significant. And you may have went through cleanly. I can't even remember at this point. Did you get through that first wreck? No harm, no foul?
Yeah, the first one was just bumper tag. The only netcode I had was that first 4X right there, and then middle of the race when me and Dalton were battling, just more netcode again. Didn't even actually make contact with him, but netcode's huge, I guess, and the modifieds just recently.
It's, man, last 2 seasons, it's gotten out of hand. So we normally do 24x, but you noticed last season we did all last season was 29x, and to me
Yeah.
that's just like absurd that we need 29x for people not to get DQ'd. That makes me mad, But then, like you just said right then, you got what'd you end with 6 to 8x, and you feel like you never even touched a car tonight. So, I mean, that just shows right there. Netcode is very prevalent in these cars, but still, Axum, you won this week. I'm not even sure where we go next week. I had a lot going on tonight, man. I was supposed to be out there racing with y'all tonight. I'm bummed out about that. So we go to Bristol next week, Axum. That's a tough track in the modified. It's almost wide open. How do you like your chances starting in the back at a track like Bristol?
Just like I'm gonna pull the old Chris Carroll and Axum trick like we did the Bristol 200 a few weeks back. Starting out back, anyways. I'm just gonna stay back there until I feel like it's time to start charging. And when it's time to charge, I'm not gonna look back.
And you and Carroll put on a clinic, and that's what I love about watching faster guys that either mess up, botch their qualifying, or they get put back there because they win. They get linked up with another fast guy, and you just see them work magic. And yes, they race with each other, but mainly they're just trying to stay with each other because they know, like in that instance, you knew if at 99, if he had a hole, you was gonna follow him because you knew he was gonna take that hole and you was going with him, and it was awesome to watch. I actually enjoyed watching that. Y'all put on a show. Put on a show here tonight. I did not think you had the most dominant car at the start of this race, and then lo and behold, that 13, that pink car finds a way each and every week, and it did here tonight. So congratulations to you, Thomas, on winning here tonight at Hickory. You got any sponsor shots you want to throw out there before we close up shop here tonight?
Yes, sir. Thanks for, even though looking forward to racing with us, even though I can't wait to be racing with you side by side, for taking your time and putting it on the broadcast. It's just some things come up, and thanks for stepping up and taking care of us up there. So shout out to you. Shout out to Five Kings Motorsports. That was a good race. Shout out to Kyle for second. Good show with him. And then my sponsors, Bernier's Liquors, Studios 10 Designs, and RKM.
So, circle back to what you said right then. Racing side by side. Yeah, I'll just wave to you when you're lapping me, okay? We'll just do that. And so now I got to ask you one more thing. I know you did a big race last night. You beat some pretty big names either last night or the night before in Super Late Models. Your Alex McCollum and stuff like that. And I saw on your tweet or on your Facebook, you said small gap. Is there an inside joke that goes with that we can't talk about on live?
No, it's just that that was like the most stacked race I've been in over a year, and I put 4.5 seconds on them in 90 laps, and like those guys, those guys are like the top notch of, like, I'm usually intimidated a little bit, but I went out there and I screwed up my cue, got the invert, started pole, literally led every single lap, put 4.5 seconds on them, and the inside joke to it was because my spotter last night is if you look how I spelled it, it says small and then gap's all capital. That's the little joke to it.
I got you. See, I got to looking at the list of the driver, like how they finished. I was like, dang. Like I just kept on seeing big names, So congratulations to that too. So
thank you, sir.
That's awesome, Thomas. So
huge momentum for this league at 2 in a row.
Right. I mean, just
pink power.
Yeah. Pink power is looking strong right now. All right, Thomas, we're gonna close up shop here tonight. Congratulations on your win, buddy, and we'll be sharing the track with you next week, hopefully at Bristol.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. See you next week.
See you, buddy. All right, Mr. Thomas Axum, brought it home P1 here tonight. And for now, Ben Tanner Marr in the Five Kings Network booth. Want to pull up the race results real quick. Allow you to see where your favorite driver finished here tonight. We'll go through the top 10. You got Thomas Axum P1. Kyle B. Cisco, Scotty Stevens. They rounded out the podium here tonight. You got Jason Raymond, Christian Pittman in 4th and 5th. Dalton Kilroe led a lot of laps out front. Got shuffled, got into an incident with the 6 car. He's showing us number 4, Kyle Cisco up there. That ultimately hurt his chances of winning, but he did bounce back to a 6th place finish. Hayden Young went in and took tires. It killed his track position. Maybe if he had it back, he would do something a little different. He ended up bringing home in 7th. Scott Ross in 8th. Joshua Sexton in 9th with Ed Brown rounding out our top 10. Well, folks, it's been fun calling this series. I came on board just to call the Tuesday night series for just a few nights until Joe was ready to come back solo. It was never set in stone I was going to be here every week. I was doing it just to help out somebody in a pinch. I was so excited to race tonight. I said it earlier, and I want to say it again. Joe White does a phenomenal job up in the booth. He wrote me at like 7 o'clock tonight, said he had a family emergency, couldn't broadcast, and that he was really sorry. And I mentioned it earlier, I won't mention it again. When somebody says family emergency, my heart drops because you don't know what that entails. So, on behalf of Crooked Line Racing, Five Kings Motorsports, Five Kings Network, Mr. Joe White, and the White family, prayers are out for y'all. Hope everything is okay. Hope to hear tomorrow that it was just something silly. But until then, guys, Five Kings Motorsports, give us a like on Facebook if you don't mind. Give us a like on our YouTube page, on our YouTube videos. It helps out a ton. Be sure to check out MF Race Designs if you need a paint scheme. If you want to see real grassroots, real life racing, short track racing at its finest, look up our friends over at BAM Racing Videos. It's been Tanner Marr in the booth. It's been a fun one here tonight at Hickory. We go to Bristol, baby, the last great Coliseum next week. Till then, we'll see you.